Hey riders, boom, we're off. Okay, it's Saturday, February 3rd, 2024. I'm doing a little bit of a recon ride here for Team GRC in advance of our Sunday short ride. That heads off tomorrow morning tomorrow morning for me anyways. But the reason I'm doing this is that I will be doing full blow by blow of the Watts Fest that's going to be unleashed tomorrow afternoon, wherever you are. The last I looked this morning, 76 riders signed up. Fantastic. 11 women. When do you see that? This is going to be an all-out battle. Here we are, Buttertubs Pass. So what I did here was I set up 19 virtual partners. I also set up 3 ghost riders just to keep me busy. So you can see me up here in the Lidl Trek jersey, and you'll see the virtual partners are in like the purple and black jersey. My ghost riders are in the black jerseys. They're right behind me right now. Just in case you didn't know, Lidl is a grocery store chain based out of Germany, and they have a ton of stores all over Europe. I think they're just starting to get to the US now too. Hey, this is kind of funny here too. So I picked 19 riders. The only rider I picked that I know is the guy that's ahead of me. There he is. There's the beast himself. I'm not actually sure how I'm actually hanging with Bashak here. I gotta guess that he did this ride. I think he did this ride last year, and probably on a much, much slower bike. And that's why you're seeing his power numbers being higher than mine. But I'm basically able to hang with him on the Trek Madone. So that just tells you something how important these bikes are. They're not just cosmetics. There's a lot of performance built into them. So anyways, Buttertubs Pass. This route is only 5.45 kilometers long. That's about 3.6 miles, I believe, with just 270 meters of climbing. Sorry about that. But the way you got to think about it is that it's about a 2-kilometer climb, then a kilometer of flattish to downhill in the middle of the screen there. You can see a little bit of green, actually. You're going to be going downhill. And then another good 500 to 600 meters of some pretty tough stuff. And then it's wide open, flat to the finish. Flat and actually downhill in places. So a lot of different strategies here. Some of this course suits the climbers. Some of this course suits the big beasts that push big numbers. You can see here, Bashak's just starting to pull away from me a little bit, but I'm in second place right now. But I didn't even need to turn all his virtual partners on. I wasn't sure how I would ride this. Again, I'm just reconning this. Just for tomorrow, I'm hoping, some of the team can take a look at this later. I'll throw this up on YouTube for everyone. So yeah, here's my faithful Emma. She's always with me just to keep me company. But it's so nice having these virtual partners out in front. Hey, before I forget too, look at these dry stone walls. Fantastic. I love it. Guy bombing down the hill on a little quick scooter there. Oh yeah, it's also turned up a little bit. I think we are about 30% sped up here, just so we're not here all day. I've got a night out tonight, heading to the casino. Not sure if I'm even going to make it home, so I'm taking all my stuff. We will be in the mobile commentary box tomorrow. So yeah, here I am, just chilling. Bashak's not that far ahead. We're coming out of some steep stuff here, so remember that. So it's going to start off with a climb, probably mostly like in the 10-11% range stuff. And then it starts getting a little bit flatter here. This is really eased off at this point. And you can see just a little bit further up the road that it's going to get even flatter. We got a rider coming up here beside me now. This is it looks like I would call this rider Pavel. That's what I'm going to go with. So Pavel's pulled up ahead of me. So now it's Bashak ahead by just over 100 meters. Pavel's just a few meters ahead of me. I've got my faithful teammates. And but there's some riders coming up behind me here now too. We got Venka. Venka is like hunting me down. I'm riding him around 3.5, 3.6, 3.7 watts per kilo. Here comes that flat stuff I was telling you about. Look at the road ahead of us, creeping up into the distance. You can basically see where that red stuff is going to slam us that's coming up. So here's a little breathing section. So if I was a big, fast, flatland rider, I would be hammering here just to get even 10, 20 meters on the lightweights. Because These steeper sections, these little ultra lightweight climbers are just going to rip right up them. So we can see here I've got Peter with me, Emma, Will's right behind me, Venka's only lurking at 11 meters. Then it's a further 120 meters back to Slick. I think it's Slick Mick. So like I said, I picked 19 virtual partners. You can see how they're spread out behind me on the profile. I picked like 2.5, 2.6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up 3, 3.1, 2, 3, and then I jumped. I think Bashak did this almost at an average of 3.6 watts per kilo, I believe. I think that's what his number was. As soon as I saw his name, I picked it. So everyone else that's on here, I don't know them. I will say thank you to whoever they are for letting me use your profile. Everyone did really well here, and Bashak's just hammering my friends. So look at this tough stuff now. This is like 18, 19%. And what's wicked about this part is that my fan is actually noisier than my trainer as the Neo just like crushes down on my legs. Here we are, 19% gradient here. Will's just pacing me out in front. I can see Pavel's not that far ahead. Pavel's just 20-something meters ahead. Bashak, 90-something meters ahead. So ideally what you want to do is you want to be to the top of this climb first. So push as hard as you absolutely can here. Because then you've got, what is it? I said it earlier, you've got a kilometer of flat to downhill. So it's a 2-kilometer push with some flat stuff in between. Then a 1-kilometer flat to downhill. You push again super hard for 500-600 meters, and then it's just a race for the border. I like to say that once you're over that final hill. Part of what played out here too is I brought up in the past. Take a look at some of my RPMs here too, folks. I tell people this all the time that I don't ride these hills at 90 RPMs. It's impossible for me. 50s and 60s. I can still generate decent power. I'm still going to push, 3.5 watts per kilo. And I got to say here too, I wasn't killing myself here. So I think there's a little bit more left in me. If you know me, here's a little quick map view. You see Bashak is the gray dot on the map. Green is Pavel. And then it's me and the ghosties with the pursuers. So I'm actually putting a gap into them now. Venka has passed us, though. Venka has just creeped past me. I didn't actually see when it happened when I was doing this. I think I was just too focused on the ride. And I think I slipped into map mode as he was passing me. So you can see Venka ahead of me now. And I think, I'm just going to guess here, I don't know for sure, Venka, probably more of a climber than me, able to pass me here easy on the climb. But then when it came to the flats, I had an advantage. Now that could be something to do with the bike too. Like, I don't know when Venka did this ride. I could probably look later. I've got a pretty good lightweight climber and a pretty decent aero bike too, this Trek, right? It's one of the best bikes, arguably tied to be the best bike in the game right now. So I would say the Giant Propel, which I don't own, the Trek Madone, and then probably the Cervelo. Best combination of aero to weight ratios. Back to map mode, you can see it's really spreading out now. The green on the left-hand side, you can barely see under the profile is Pavel, and Bashak's actually off screen. So he's using this downhill flat stuff to get away. So again, this goes back to what I've said in some of the past videos. Get a hill between yourself and your pursuers. Because once you're over that hill, like watch here, once I get over this hill, my speed's going to instantly accelerate and I'm gone. And I'm going to pull out a big gap on the riders behind me. So let's take a look back. It looks like there's a rider behind me called, I think it's Pally. We'll just call him Pal. We're 100 meters ahead of them roughly. Sorry, 170 meters ahead of them. And now the gap's just going to grow. We're over 200 already. That gap is just going to grow so fast because they're still battling their way up that, not super steep stuff anymore, but they're still going quite slow. And I'm already at 50k an hour. I mean, look at the lead Bashak and Pavel have on me now. They've really pulled it out using all that downhill. So as I'm bombing downhill, we've got Pavel and Bashak going up the next climb, which is very short. I think it's quite steep again. So just be ready for it. It's actually right here. Right when you come under the banner, you're going to get slammed into this climb. It's not very long at all. So just get ready. So I totally down geared way in advance here. I should have waited a bit longer. I just didn't want to get stuck trying to shift gears in the big ring and then just, crunching through my gears. So I probably just should have stayed in higher gear a little bit longer. Found it fairly easy here to push the 4 watts a kilo up this hill. So hopefully some of the people that are in the Discord, Team GRC members, just whoever you are, you can use this as a bit of a guide as to how to ride this. It's not as hard as you think. So yeah, there's some pretty steep stuff here again. Look, we're getting up into the high teen gradients here. I felt this a lot. Really feeling it chunking down on me. And then here comes Venka again. Look at Venka. So I've passed Venka on that downhill earlier. You would have seen that. And now Venka is slowly clawing their way back, able to hold higher power on the hills than me. But I'm just going to try to get to that hill, the top of the hill before them. Like, I know it's over soon. Actually, I just saw Venka's handlebars here. Here comes Venka right now. Look at this person. So Venka's hot on my heels. Does Venka get past me? They might. So close enough, right? I'm actually getting a tiny bit of draft from my riders, but it's really going to help me here too now because I'm getting full drafting from my ghosties going down this flat downhill stuff. There's only a couple little rollers coming up too. So at this point here, you just run. Go as hard as you can now. There are a couple little rollers that probably could make a difference if you've got other riders right nearby you. See, so Venka just got on my back wheel, and then I was able to get away again. So I'm pushing hard enough here to keep my momentum up over these rollers, and you'll start to see the draft effect here now. Look, just watch the draft numbers at the top of the screen in the middle, that green bar. I'm getting a huge benefit out of these riders, as you will at the race on Sunday if you come to it. I will be covering this fully, blow by blow. I'll be going through all the riders. If you participate in this ride, everyone will be covered right to the finish. That's not to say I'm going to catch everyone finish, because I'll probably be mid-pack, back of the pack. Map again, here we go. So you can see I've got my ghosties with me. Venka's that red dot behind me, and I'm pulling away from Venka now. I've got downhill advantage. I'm a bigger rider, I'm sure. I'm on a more aero bike, and I've been able to use my ghost riders to get a bit of a gap too. And I'm not messing around here either. I'm still trying to keep my power, over 3 watts per kilo. And I think it's at this, when I was riding, watch it around 4.5 kilometers, 4.6 kilometers. You basically want to be up over that hill before whoever's chasing you, because then after this point, you're just going downhill now. I think there'll be very little opportunity to pass here. Maybe if you're a tiny little rider and there's someone huge behind you putting out huge power, but yeah, you're just going to start flying down this part here. So basically, you need to be at the top of that 4.6 kilometer mark to keep whoever's behind you. They shouldn't be able to pass you here. Again, unless it's like you're a 50 kilogram rider and you've got a 90, 95 kilo rider chasing you. They might get by you. Also depends on your bike choice too, folks. So pick the right bike. In here, you can tell here too, I'm just letting off now. Race is over. That was really fun. Way easier than I thought it was going to be. So you better get in this race. It's going off in less than 24 hours. Expect a Watts Armageddon. See you soon.